So, Toni, you don't remember anything. Nothing at all. The only thing you remember is how you came out of character. Right. Welcome to my channel. We're here. We break down reality TV shows with laughter and reenactments, all while giving it to you straight with no chaser. Because we don't just watch TV around here, we get into the things of the things. So sit back and relax. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. The Braxtons season 2 episode 5. We got some things to get into, okay? There is a lot of pain. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of trauma between these sisters. Iyanla couldn't fix it. TD Jakes can't fix it. Jesus himself is going to have to come down to fix this mess, okay? Before we get into the things, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through. And if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before and you found yourself coming back, you like it here. I'm just letting you know you like it here, so you might as well hit that subscribe button and join the family. You did it? Okay, thank you. If y'all one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all, I don't know what's going on with these sisters, but it feels like it's unrepairable. They have been trying to get it together for a very long time and they have not gotten it together yet. Now the question is, when is enough enough? Is it time to actually throw in the towel? So the episode picks up exactly where we left off. We are at Towanda's Bridgerton theme bridal shower. Now, I know people were saying that it's a hot mess. I like it. I mean, there's a theme, right? You're supposed to look like the people back in the day or the people in Bridgerton. So I'm here for all of that, okay? Now, I don't know why they had Trina doing that voiceover with Trina doing the Bridgerton accent along with whatever kind of accent she got. It's a lot going on. Nonetheless, she's doing the voiceover. Towanda wants to get her ladies of honor to go to ladies of honor school because obviously they don't know how to be ladies of honor and they all late to her bridal shower, okay? Now, I don't know why she picked Jamie to take care of that, but Jamie says she's going to get them in school this evening. Now, I don't know what that means or what that looked like, but nonetheless, Towanda, the whole process for your wedding has been a complete mess. I think you wanted to have this a part of the show as part of your storyline, but it's failing. It's failing really, really bad. But anyway, I will say that I absolutely hate Trina's dress, okay? This is why she is knocking over drinks and doing a lot. I get there's a theme, but it wasn't a cute part of the theme at all. Not to me anyway, okay? Now, she said that she's late because she had to go check on Vaughn and make sure that Vaughn is good, but Vaughn ended up coming too, so I'm trying to figure out, like, why you just couldn't wait for him to get there so you could see him and to make sure I don't know. Nonetheless, they still on the internet cooking. I scroll past them on TikTok and I'm sitting here like, I thought you supposed to be fixing your life so you could live longer. What y'all on this internet still cooking and eating this stuff for? You know what? Not my business. Not my business at all, okay? So Trina is there. She's trying to keep a brave face, but she's tearing up because she has a lot going on. And she hasn't told Towanda yet because she doesn't want to ruin her wedding experience. She already has a lot of obstacles in her way, right? But Towanda can see that she's feeling some type of way. And so she wants to check up on her. And she's just like, I'm good. Trina realized that she's also not having a good time because the girls is late. And she's trying to pull herself together and enjoy her bridal shower. And you know, the Toni Braxton isn't there. So she feels like she has no support at all because all these people in the room and the only people that seem to matter is the Toni Braxton not being here. Right. So Trina decides to cheer her up that she's going to pee in her dress. Now, I don't know if that's something that I would do to cheer my sister up. Like, just go ahead and pee in the dress that I have on that I'm going to be wearing all day. But she literally peed in the dress outside in the grass at the bridal shower. Right. Towanda loved it. She loved it, and that's all that matters. Everything's a hot mess. It's really just a hot mess at this point, okay? Now, Sean showed up in all his black, and he looked nice. Now, some people are saying that that's a wig. Is that a wig? He wearing a wig? I mean, it's a lot of blackout going on, but I know, you know, as they get older, they try to, you know, cover up the headline because the headlines start receiving. But is that a wig? Wow. Okay. They play some games where they put the toilet paper on to make it look like a wedding dress. They give out some gifts. Everything seems to be going good. Towanda end up having a good time at her bridal shower. She's thankful for everyone that showed up, even though, you know, Toni Braxton could not have been there. She feels like her sisters are not showing up for her. Although, you know, Tamar was uninvited and Trina's there. And we knew Toni wasn't coming. So I'm trying to figure out how one person is ruining your whole parade. I don't know. Now, Tamar is getting ready for her tour, right? She's excited to bring the album Calling All Lovers to life because when she released the album, she never got to tour because she ended up having blood clots around that time. So she is super excited. I like to see Tamar in her groove, singing, dancing, doing what Tamar should be doing instead of being on the internet, okay? I love to see her doing what she loves to do. She looks happy. She looks at peace. I love that for her, okay? Now, Trina is at her realtor's office, and she's settling in really well. Towanda and Miss E stop by because they want to, check on her. They can tell something's been off. Towanda brings her a gift. She got some alcohol. Yeah, it's a whole little vibe, right? So they go sit down to talk, and, Tawanda's like, I realize that you have been present, but you haven't been present. And Trina's like, yeah, because I just found out that Vaughn has congestive heart failure. So Tawanda's like, you could have told me. I mean, I understand why you didn't tell me, but you still could have told me. Now, I do feel like, Towanda genuinely would have liked to know, but I don't think she really cared because at that moment she had so much wedding planning to do, and that's really all that's important to her at this point in time. She barely called to check on her mother when her mother had heart surgery. Remember, she called her like, you okay? Okay, good. I just got my marriage certificate. Remember? Y'all remember. But Trina says she's not going to cry. She's going to pull herself together, especially not at work. So then we switch the conversation to how Toni wants them to come to Miami, right? Towanda says she has a little takeover spirit. And Trina said a lot of takeover spirit. Y'all let her. Y'all let her. Instead of treating her like a sister, y'all treat her like the Toni Braxton, and y'all drop everything to run to her beck and call, and then she never does that for you. But it's okay when she do it, right? Right. So Toni's flying them out there so that they can be there for her because, this is her first show that she's done in a long time all by herself. And also to make up for not showing up to Tawanda's bridal shower that she was never coming to anyway. I feel like this was always the plan. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So now Toni is getting ready for her show, right? She's really nervous. She says she only has 4 dancers. She has no backup singers. And Trina's like, you are the legend Toni Braxton. You got this. And I'm like, Trina, this is the time to hype your sister up. Not when she fighting with another sister. See, I'm here for all this. You are a legend. You are the Toni Braxton. Yeah, get her in her groove. But when y'all having a fight with your sisters, this is not the time. You are the Toni Braxton. You are classy. See, there's a time and a place for everything. This is the time. This is the place. Nonetheless, y'all know Toni is like, if I need you to come out, you're going to come out and say something? Of course they are, Toni. You don't even have to give them a heads up or nothing. They show up and do whatever you say whenever you say it. It's always been like that, and it will continue to be like that. It's crazy, but good for them. And I will say that that's a strong sister bond. But the thing about it is, it's not reciprocated. It's always one-sided. One way, Toni's way. Nonetheless, Toni looks absolutely beautiful, okay? She looks good up there on that stage, singing, dancing, doing all the things. And I told y'all, Toni Braxton is my top 3 favorite artists of all time, okay? Toni, Beyonce, and Brandy, top 3. So I loved watching her up there. I did get a little emotional when she did the tribute to Angie Stone. Trina came out and sang with her. It was nice. It was nice. I'm definitely not gonna lie about being in my feelings just a little bit, okay? And I love that she gave Angie Stone her flowers. Overall, it was beautiful. Now, we know that Towanda didn't come because when Towanda got there, she was, all of a sudden sick and exhausted. I said, no, that was Tawanda's get back. That was Towanda saying, you didn't show up for me, I'm not going to show up for you. Okay? Because we all know that Towanda would have came running to Toni at any other time. But because she didn't show up for her bridal shower, she played petty. I'm exhausted. I don't feel well. Right. So now Towanda, Trina, and Toni are going on a yacht. They get on the yacht. The yacht looks absolutely beautiful. It's set up nice. Everything's going good. Towanda is like, yes, this is what's supposed to happen because it's my wedding, blah, 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 blah. But it would be nice if Toni is there because Toni's late. Because Toni's always late, right? Right. But I'm like, give her some grace. She just did a show last night. Give her some grace. I can understand being late this time, okay? Now, Toni shows up, and now we can get this party started, okay? Now, she comes in, her hair's all over the place, and she gonna use a little diggy-majobby, whatever it's called. She's gonna use the fork, to brush her hair out, because she's with her sisters. She's down to earth right now. I guess this is Toni Michelle? Yeah, maybe this is Toni Michelle we're seeing. Okay? She's just so relatable at this moment. Trina's like, only Toni Braxton will go ahead and comb her hair with a fork. She eating it up. She eating it up, child. I was just sitting there cracking up. Okay, I really was. But you know what I have to say about everything that's going on? Because even on this boat ride, they can't even go into the water because the wind is so strong. The universe actually might hate Towanda. I'm not even going to hold you. The universe actually might hate Towanda. Everything has been going wrong for her. Even the makeup gift from Toni is not successful. This is crazy. But anyway, they decide that tonight they're going to go to dinner. I do like to see the sisters together. They did laugh a lot about Trina peeing outside, Toni acting like she knows Spanish. You could tell that they really enjoyed themselves. And you know what? Tamar wasn't there to ruin it. Let Towanda tell it. Anyway, moving on. So the sisters minus Tamar are out at Mr. Chow's, right? And Tamar is at lunch with her friend. Now, I knew that this was going to be a split scene so that we can get both sides of the story to see how it's relayed, okay? Because at this point, it's kind of like a game of telephone, you know? You know. So the girls sit down and Tony's like, so is Tamar coming to your wedding? Towanda says she not coming to my wedding. No, absolutely not. So Tony's like, are you sure? She said, I'm positive she's not coming to my wedding. So Toni asks them, what do we think about her behavior the other day? Toni, what is we? How do you feel about her behavior the other day? Why do you have to throw it onto the sisters to go ahead and say what they want to say so that you could wash your hands and it could look like you never had anything negative to say about Tamar? See, Toni plays both sides of the fence. She set that up so that they can say, oh, Tamar is this and Tamar is that. She sat at that table and act like she don't remember nothing that happened, okay? Trina said that what Tamar did was unacceptable. And I will let Trina have that. You want to know why? Because Tamar pulled her wig and kicked her. That was definitely unacceptable. I'm not going to stand for it at all, okay? So I'm with Trina on that. Now, what we not going to do, because Miss Toni Braxton said that she's upset that she let Tamar get her to that point. So are we going to hold Toni accountable for jumping up out the table and escalating that situation? Or are we just going to, hold Tamar accountable for knocking the drink over into Towanda's face? Because Towanda said she threw water on me. She threw water on me. And then Toni's like, she did? When did that happen? Toni, Toni Braxton, please. What we not about to do is sit here and act stupid. Let's stop it, okay? Now Towanda sitting there saying how she's exhausted. She don't want anything to do with her anymore. She wants peace and this, that, and the other. Cool. But you do know that you escalated the situation when you accused her of sleeping with Toni Braxton's man, all because she said that you was stealing off her credit card. You do know that you escalated this, right? Because when you were getting called out for the thievery of it all, you decided to deflect and flip it on somebody else. You want Toni to hate Tamar just as bad as you. And it's not happening because Toni's sitting at that table like she don't remember absolutely nothing, okay? She's actually trying to get y'all to make up because, she loves her some Tamar. She really do. That's her baby. That's what she calls her baby. So now Tamar's at her table talking to her friend, and she's telling him how she hasn't been able to put the bottle down because, everything that's going on with her sisters. So she's kind of been like self-medicating. And so when she said that, I'm like, so ain't nobody concerned about that? I understand it, but that's like, you don't want to use that to cope. You know what I mean? And then she's still drinking. And after she said that she's normally, sober around this time for tour because she's a soprano and she need her throat. She need that voice. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So he tells her to try and heal the relationship with her sisters. But if she can't, then she needs to move on and focus on her and her child. Now, Tamar said, I tried to do that. I tried to do that 3 years ago when everybody kept pressuring me to come back, do this, do that, all because this family is family, but the family is toxic. And you know what? I believe her. Because when she decided that she was going to be a friend of the show wasn't really doing what the show needed to do. And without Tamar, it's not as interesting as the show is. So you know what they had to do, especially because they didn't have Tracy to exploit like last season? They needed her to come back. And what did she do? Show up for them. Just for them to sit up there and act crazy. This is crazy. So she said that she cut everyone off and everyone made her feel guilty. So then she said that the reason she showed up this season was to heal, okay? To heal with her sisters. But it feels like everyone else isn't ready to heal. And if that's the case, then she can't do it alone. And the crazy thing about all of this is that they possibly could have healed if they would have just let Ashley tell her story. Or if they would have just backed Tamar up. Or something. But because everyone wants to push stuff under the rug, now here we are. Here we are. So back at Child's, Toni is asking them, so what do we do from here? Okay, we're still family. We're still going to be in each other's lives. So where do we go from here? Towanda's like, I don't want nothing to do with her anymore. It's been years of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and physical abuse. Toni's sitting there talking something like, what happened? What happened? I said, Toni's, don't play with me today. Don't play with me today. Towanda said she threw water at her. Okay, a whole glass of water at her. Toni said, I promise I didn't see that. I promise I didn't see that. Toni got a little lying problem. Toni got a lying problem because, girl, what? Then they talking about how Tamar tried to blame them for the delivery of the cease and desist. Y'all clear now? Because everybody's been on the internet talking about this interview with the guy in the interview talking about how nobody with a vagina sent the cease and desist. The argument was never about who sent the cease and desist. The argument was about how did he get my address to send the cease and desist. Okay? Now I'm hearing that it's the brother. Ashley said her father sent it out, right? So I feel like, how did he get the address to give to the lawyer? That's the question. Now that I think about it, how did he get the address? Maybe that mama. Maybe Miss E, because y'all know she like to sweep things under the rug. We might be on to something. It might not have been them sisters. But they know. They know who sent it for sure. Anyway, like I said, Toni's still acting like she don't know what's going on, barely remember everything. They giving her a play-by-play like she wasn't at the table. Tamar's at the table telling her friend, like, they know how that got to my house. I have the papers. I have the cease and desist. They know how that got to my house, but they want to sit there and act like they don't know what's going on. 1 + 1 always equals 2. And I said, I know that's right. Now, I ain't going to say they sent it, but I think maybe Trina. I wouldn't be surprised if Trina gave out that address because we know she know where she lived. Towanda might not, but I think Trina though. It's either Trina or Miss E. I'm leaning towards either one of them, okay? Maybe both of them at this point. But nonetheless, so then Trina talks about how Tamar was saying that she pushed her, and she's like, I did not push her. And I say, you did push her. You did. You stepped in between them and you pushed her out the way. Okay? You pushed her out the way. It may not have been aggressive, but because you pushed her out the way and then you started talking to Toni like, you are the legend, you are this, that, and the other. Yeah, it made her feel like you pushing her out the way, like, get off of my sister, bitch. That's the energy I think Tamar was picking up. And that's exactly what she said. Because she said Trina came over there and pushed me out the way. She feels like Trina was trying to get her lick in. Now, I don't think Trina was trying to get her lick in, Tamar. I don't think Trina was trying to get her lick in, because why do you think your sister would purposely push you like that? I think she was just in her feelings. It was a heat of the moment and it was chaos. Now, in my last review, I said that, Towanda, are you serious thinking that Tamar will hurt you? And someone responded and said, she literally kicked Trina and pulled her hair. Yes, she probably would. And I'm like, I understand that. But to intentionally go up to Towanda or Trina or Toni and put her hands on them, outside of all that commotion and chaos that was happening, I don't think would ever happen. I think that was one of those off moments where things just got a little bit too out of hand. And in Tamar's defense, and I'm not saying that she was right, because she was absolutely wrong, but at that moment, it feels like you have 3 people ganging up against you. Tawanda's up, Trina's pushing you, Toni's ha 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 ha. You don't know what's going on. All you know is that you are on the defense because everybody in this room is actually trying to get to you at this point. So I can understand the logic of it, but to intentionally go after your sister over an argument without all that commotion, I don't think would ever happen from Tamar. You guys understand what I'm saying? I hope you understand what I'm saying. So Toni asked them, do y'all think that we should have a conversation with Tamar? Towanda says she good exactly where she's at. We know. So Trina's like, so what do you think that conversation would look like? Toni says, just tell her how you feel and how this type of behavior is unacceptable. Towanda's like, I've been saying that for years. I've been telling her how I'm not going to tolerate this behavior and this, that, and the other. And that's why you don't F with your sister. That's why you don't call your sister. That's why you only be around your sister for filming. Be honest. Be honest. You don't like Tamar. You're tolerating her. And now you finally got a reason. You have a reason outside of everything that's been going on to say, I don't F with you. Because before, you couldn't figure out a reason because you was using her credit card to pay for your 7 lines. You was using her money. Yeah. But now that all that's out there, you don't want to pay her back her money. You don't have the phone lines anymore. She's of no use to you. And now you can make it very clear that you don't want to F with her. So when Tamar does another podcast and say how you only want to talk to her when it's time for filming, we don't even have to discuss that anymore at all, right? Right. I see you, Towanda. I see you. So Tamar's telling her friend how she knows that she's the baby of the family and she may be the most opinionated, but she is not the worst person on the planet. And I said that. Just because somebody speaks their mind, the delivery may be off. I'm not going to hold you. The delivery may be off. But that does not make her the worst person in the world. That does not make her a horrible person because it seems like she has been looking out for y'all. She said that she came back to help them. She always comes back for them, which is why she's there now. She's hurt. She's crying. And I get it. I totally get it. I'm with her friend on this. It's a lot of hurt. It's a lot of pain. It's a lot of trauma. And I believe that at this age in their lives, that it is perfectly fine and okay to separate. Miss E has forced them to be together all their lives and made them feel like they couldn't do anything without each other to the point where they start resenting each other. I really hope that everyone gets the therapy that they need. Okay? And if that means cut each other off, then cut each other off. But I tell you what, Toni gonna fix that relationship with Tamar. And Trina might follow suit. Towanda was hoping that would ruin the relationship that Tamar has with Toni so she could finally feel special when it comes to Toni. Because remind you, she's been following after Toni, being her assistant, doing everything for her, and she had to be an employee. And Tamar has always been able to be the little sister. And that's why she wanted her to press charges, call the police. Because if she can step in between that relationship, then maybe, just maybe, she can fill the void. I don't know. That's the logic I got from it. Y'all let me know what you think about it. Anyway, y'all, that was the Braxtons. I really hope y'all enjoyed this review. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about everything that happened. Go ahead, like the video. Hype the video up, okay? And subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.